You don't wake up one day and decide to become a hacker because of a clean roadmap. You decide because something messes with your head. Maybe it was Mr. Robot. Maybe you saw a video at 3 a.m. where a hacker made billions of dollars. And that was it. You fell straight into the rabbit hole. And then reality shows up because step 2 in hacking is realizing no, you cannot do that. Not yet. That 17-year-old prodigy, they've been breaking things since middle school. They had 10,000 hours of curiosity. You've got 30 minutes after work and a brain that's already fried, and that's fine. That doesn't mean you're late. It just means you don't get to brute force talent with motivation quotes. So you do what everyone does. You install Kali Linux, VM, dual boot, full send and wipe Windows like a psychopath. Doesn't matter. Some Reddit comment convinces you that you need 32 gigabytes RAM, a dedicated laptop, and 400 tools, even though you don't know what Nmap actually does yet. But you've got Kali now. Terminal opens, green text. You feel dangerous. Then nobody warns you about the sleep damage. You start reading docs at midnight. Your brain starts dreaming in bash syntax. You wake up thinking about privilege escalation like it's rent due. Weeks pass. Your browser history is just how to escalate privileges Linux. Why exploit not working? What is TCP handshake? Please help. Your problem-solving skills improve. Your ability to enjoy movies? Dead. Every hacking scene looks fake now. Then comes networking. IP addresses? Cool. Ports? Fine. Protocols? Sure. And then TCP three-way handshake. This is the graveyard. This is where half the people quit because synack doesn't feel real yet. Wireshark looks like static noise. Nothing clicks. Here's the secret. It's not supposed to click immediately. You don't understand it. You survive it until one random day it makes sense. So you keep going. You get bored of scanning your own Wi-Fi. You discover Metasploit. Now you really feel like a hacker. You run exploits you don't understand. Payloads, sessions, handlers, no clue. And here's the cruel part. Metasploit feels easier, but teaches you less. When manual exploitation fails, you learn why. When Metasploit fails, you stare at the screen like it personally betrayed you. Months pass. You watch YouTubers pop root shells in seconds. You realize to get 10% of their skill, you'll need years. And now you're at the fork. Quit now or admit something painful. You kind of suck, but you keep going anyway. You come back to the terminal after breaks. You always come back. Then, your first real win. Burp Suite. Intercepting HTTP requests feels like cheating reality. You forget the proxy port every single time. You rewatch the same tutorial every time. Eventually, networking burns you out. Then you see a video on SQL injection. Someone pulling data they were never supposed to see. And suddenly, you know about web hacking. Port Swigger Academy. Basically a training ground where web apps are designed to be broken. You think you're getting good, then you try reading real burp traffic. Now you suck again. Finding one parameter takes 30 minutes. Every input field looks suspicious. You can't browse the internet like a normal human anymore. Then bug bounties happen. One report turns into a 3-hour disclosure binge. Business logic bugs mess with your brain. You realize companies forget basic things like rate limiting. Not life-changing money, but proof. You start writing notes, documenting workflows, trying to repeat success. You still suck, just less. Now you're deep in it. You have to choose a path. Cloud, malware, Active Directory, hardware hacking, some insanely niche thing you saw on YouTube. Maybe you go corporate pen testing. Maybe you go full research goblin. Either way, you finally touch grass. Real clients, real scopes, real pressure. You miss one vulnerability. It haunts you. Nobody else cares. Only you. Then tools start piling up again. Mobile security, Android emulators, 10 hours configuring things that should have taken 20 minutes. Reverse engineering hits you like a brick. No tutorials, just assembly. Painfully slow progress. But that's character development. You try automating recon. It never feels perfect. You learn Python properly because manually running commands forever is insane in 2026. You debug scripts so long you forget why you started coding. And then, one day, you realize something wild. You're actually good enough. Good enough to find bugs, good enough to explain concepts, good enough to teach. So you start a blog, or a YouTube channel, or write-ups that help someone else suffer a little less than you did. And that's when it hits. Hacking wasn't about tools, or operating systems, or Metasploit. It was about staying when quitting made more sense. If you made it this far, you're already ahead of 90% of people. 2026 isn't too late. It's perfect. Lock in. And before you close the tab thinking you missed something, yeah, we need to talk about programming. Because somewhere along this whole chaos arc, between broken exploits, messy burp traffic, and tools you barely understood, you probably noticed something uncomfortable. The people who looked effortlessly good, they weren't faster typers. They weren't luckier. They understood code. At first, programming feels optional. You tell yourself, I'll learn Python later. Later becomes years, but eventually hacking forces your hand. You can't read exploit code properly. You can't tweak payloads. You can't build tools instead of downloading another one that half works. So you finally sit down and learn programming. Not because it's fun, but because hacking won't let you move forward without it. Python stops being that thing for automation and becomes how you think. JavaScript stops being annoying and starts explaining why web apps break. C, assembly, and low-level stuff stop looking like hieroglyphics and start looking like logic. That's when everything connects. Networking makes sense. Web vulnerabilities feel intentional. Reverse engineering stops feeling impossible. You're not just running tools anymore, you're reasoning. So if you're early in this journey and wondering, should I learn programming too? Yes, not first. Not instead of hacking, but along the way, deep enough to understand, not memorize. Because at the end of the day, the real hackers weren't tool collectors. They were builders, breakers, thinkers. And if you're still here, still watching, still trying, still failing and coming back, you're already one of us. If you got value from this video, don't just watch and disappear. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Smash that like if you've ever felt lost in the hacking journey. Share this with someone who's trying to learn but keeps getting confused by all the noise. And drop a comment below. Tell me what part of the hacking curve crushed you the most. See you in the next one.